Shikamaru vs Hidan was the biggest get back of the century. As I was reading this fight, I knew I had to make a video on this. If you guys are new to the channel and enjoy content like this, please hit that subscribe button as it greatly helps the channel. Going into this fight with Shikamaru vs Hidan and the amount of strategic planning that Shikamaru did prior to engaging in the battle definitely needs to be studied. In this video, I'm going to break down this fight and show you that Shikamaru already won and made Hidan know that Shikamaru is his god. In chapter 331, Shikamaru was planning on going to stop the Akatsuki with just him, Choji, and Ino, but was stopped by Tsunade. This was due to their cell not having 4 people, and Tsunade didn't want him to make a rash decision. This was cut short as Kakashi came into the scene and said he would work together with him, telling Tsunade he will go with them and take over as their leader. In the same chapter, we see Kakashi ask Shikamaru what his plan is, in which Shikamaru replies to Kakashi he would like to tweak it now that he's here. This is important to note that Shikamaru is a strategist and already deduced Hidan's abilities after only encountering him with Asuma only once in the matter of seconds. Shikamaru tells everyone that he will explain the plan and all the possible variations and to memorize it. We see in chapter 332 Shikamaru pass Kakashi an item, which we will get into later on in the video, in which Kakashi notes that he really is impressive, rapidly modifying his strategic to accommodate my sudden addition to the group. Shikamaru goes more in depth, telling them to run through a mental simulation at least 3 times. This dives a little deeper into Shikamaru's mind as he is constantly looking at different possibilities to have the best outcome in any fight. Getting into this fight, we see Shikamaru use shadow possession to grab both Kakuzu and Hidan but misses. At the same time, we see 2 paper kunais thrown at them. After the attack, we see Shikamaru throw 2 more paper tag kunais at them, but this time they don't blow up. Shikamaru follows up with another bomb at Kakuzu but achieves shadow possession on Hidan. This was due to the kunai that he threw, which absorbed Hidan's chakra nature, but at the same time assisting the wielder's jutsu. In short, Shikamaru aimed at their shadows the whole time. We see in the following panel a shogi board, which is definitely important. This shows, like I said before, how Shikamaru minds work. As you see, the pieces on the board are the exact same way Shikamaru, Kakuzu, and Hidan are placed. This shows Shikamaru's thought process and how strategic he is when on the battlefield. This is followed by Asuma's comment when he says to Shikamaru that he is a knight, and although knights may be weak, they can advance over other pieces, which is a unique movement. This is further gassed up by Kakuzu, noting that the letter bombs were fake, and his first attacks was a mislead to making them try to avoid the second chakra blaze that Shikamaru set up and threw. He followed through with no time for them to evade by attacking them from above, ultimately piercing their shadows and paralyzing them. We see in this chapter, in 333, Shikamaru uses his shadow possession to attack Kakuzu, in which once Kakuzu is pushed back against a tree, Choji slams down with his human spike juggernaut jutsu on Kakuzu. This was proven ineffective as Kakuzu used his hardening ability. We see later that Shikamaru reached his limit on his shadow possession, freeing Hidan. After some brief dialogue, we see Shikamaru formulate a plan to bind Hidan with his shadow possession and move him out of range. Kakashi then gives the item back to Shikamaru and heads off, attempting to grab Hidan with his shadow possession. Shikamaru throws a blade with his shadow, but Hidan dodges this, and while he's in midair, he uses his scythe to dodge another kunai attack. As Hidan is in his head saying all he has to do is watch his shadows, that Shikamaru's jutsu is useless, we see Shikamaru punch Hidan but was blocked, ultimately grabbing his shadow in the process. After achieving shadow possession, Shikamaru runs away to another location with Hidan, in which we see a trap of wired attached kunais with paper tag bombs on them. We then see Shikamaru's shadow possession run out again, in which Hidan notes his limit is 5 minutes. Hidan charges towards Shikamaru, nicking his cheek, which he proceeds to lick the blood, causing the ritual to start, saying the conditions have been satisfied. Hidan stabs himself through the heart, causing Shikamaru to fall down, ending the fight. Now this is where everything starts to get interesting, as we see Kakuzu being affected. That is what Kakashi stated, that the item, like I said before, which was passed back to Shikamaru from Kakashi. Shikamaru knew about Hidan's abilities, and used the blood capsule to store Kakuzu's blood, which Kakashi took when he pierced him with his lightning blade. Shikamaru gets up slowly while Hidan is not aware and slashes at Hidan's neck. This right here is amazing strategic work, as he was able to fool both Kakuzu and Hidan, planning this way back in chapter 331 with the blood capsule. We see Shikamaru tell Hidan how he was able to fool him and why this ability didn't work on him, ultimately exploiting his weakness and using that ability for his advantage. This feat was also incredible, as we see Shikamaru pour the blood on the weapon Hidan attempted to hit him with, making not only his reaction but perception far superior. We see Hidan talk to Shikamaru saying his jutsu is not as powerful as it was earlier, and each time that he uses it, the strength and duration of his jutsu diminishes. Ultimately, more use of his shadow art, the more the effectiveness is compromised. In chapter 338, as Hidan attempts to stab Shikamaru, Shikamaru uses his shadow pull jutsu and tugs on the wires, imprisoning Hidan in the wires with the paper tag bombs. Shikamaru also throws a knife into the marked part in the floor, causing the floor beneath Hidan to crumble, exposing a deep pit. Honestly, at this point, my man Shikamaru was aura farming, telling Hidan that he just can't keep having him running around free. The amount of disrespect as he lights his cigarette is insane. We see Shikamaru light that cigarette and say, "This is your grave." This was all thought out from the moment Shikamaru spoke to Cell 10 and told him what he had cooking up. As this man Shikamaru is speaking, we then see Asuma tell him good work. And in the very next panel, we see Shikamaru toss the cigarette on Hidan, igniting the paper bombs. This right here pretty much wraps up the fight, as Shikamaru tells Hidan he is a god and passing judgment on him, throwing a paper kunai, encasing the pit on Hidan, pretty much killing him. This fight was pretty much decided when Shikamaru was exposed to Hidan's abilities in the first encounter. After Asuma's death, all Shikamaru had was prep time and thought of every single scenario. We've seen that with the chessboard, and we've seen it with him planning and telling Kakashi and Team 10. He planned this out when involving Kakuzu. At the same time, he lured and separated both Kakuzu and Hidan in the process. Even if you took his prep time away, Shikamaru had already deduced Hidan's abilities and how they work. This fight already had a winner on top of them taking Asuma out. This man Shikamaru was coming not only for his get back, but to make this man Hidan know that he is his god. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Shikamaru got his get back? Or do you think if there was no prep time in the first encounter that Shikamaru would still win against Hidan? Comment down below. I would love to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel for more content. I'll see you in the next one.